Okay, hello everybody. Let me turn this off for a second. Today is October 1st, which starts Inktober. These are my 5 years of Inktober that I've done so far. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023. There they all are. I don't know if you can see them all. And they started out pretty humble. This is the style I started out doing, which was kind of, I was doing this ink wash stuff. And it could be kind of rough. I'm definitely doing Inktober again this year. And each year there's like a theme or a list of things that you can do. This is my 2024 one. And I decided this year I was just going to make up my own stuff, and I was going to do Metamorphosis Alpha, which is a game that I like, as a theme. And all it is just basically, the idea is, hey, like science fiction apocalypse on a ship that's been overgrown, so the people and the creatures on the ship don't even realize it's a ship. It's kind of their planet, they think that's the world now. So I already did the first piece right here, which is the this one's called No Survivors, and I've done a couple of these on Instagram that were more digital, so they were nicer. When you're drawing at this size, they don't tend to be that nice, when they're coming out. But I think this is what I want to do. I want to do borders like I did here, and I want to use this ink wash, which I have readily available, which I think could be fun. So now that I've told you all that, what am I doing right now? Well, I don't want to do day 2. That's tomorrow. Oh, here's the other pieces that I did. Here's this one. I guess I could zoom in. This is our human adventurer and an animal companion encountering a mutant who's a giant somewhere in the spaceship. And then the other piece I did was this one, which is a feral mutant somewhere in an overgrown corridor of the spaceship somewhere. And he's real monstrous and horrible. This is not going to be, that I'm working on now, is not an actual Metamorphosis Alpha piece, I guess, although it could be. My idea here was I wanted to draw the Jabberwock from Alice in Wonderland, the Jabberwock, and fighting these flying monkeys from Wizard of Oz. And I used a technique that I learned in the Ryan Benjamin class to sort of block out my characters really quickly. It's very rough right now, so I want to now I'm going to start inking it in and doing it. Of course, it's digital, so it'll look nicer than my the stuff I do for reals. So I want to use Rusty Nib. So this won't get done today, but it'll be part of what we do. I think we want, I don't know if this is in use or not. Let's take a look. Okay, we can use this as our ink layer. Let's just rename it. Okay. I want to start with this monkey here. Now I should probably get a reference photo. I used a reference for the Jabberwock. I used the original Lewis Carroll reference when I was drawing this one. But I didn't use any for the flying monkeys, so maybe I could find one. Let's do that real quick. Let's do some quick research. Wizard of Oz flying monkey. There they are. This is the costume that I want. And I kind of like that they have smaller wings, like the wings aren't massive wingspans. You know, you would think scientifically a creature that size would need gigantic wings, but I like the idea of not giving them huge wings. And looks like I was darn close with the way I drew them, except I drew them as vests, and they really have something else that they're wearing, like a little jacket, and they're not wearing pants. I put my guys in pants, I think. So let's see if I can find a still from the movie that shows the whole costume. Well, that kind of does. That one's pretty good right here. So the way you do is you just take it, save it to photos, then up here in reference, import, and import the photo. And then you have kind of a reference to look at. Now, the movie, I rather like the idea of keeping them in pants and the vests, but I definitely want to keep that look for the fezzes and everything. Also, of course, the movie, they had to use human actors to create these, and I wouldn't mind making them look like more like actual monkeys, so. Let's say that's our fez. I like the idea of this pattern. Am I on the right? Oh, that's my problem right there. Okay. Okay, there we go. I want the idea of it looking more like an actual sort of chimpanzee creature. I do like this collar. Look at the collar that's on the vest here. So I think we're going to incorporate that in. I gave them jambias. Jambia is a type of dagger. And I thought it kind of fit the aesthetic here. Now, here's my question. Did I make the wings too big? I mean, they kind of fit nicely in the composition. So I might just leave it. And I am definitely going to leave the sleeves off the jackets. So we can show more of their, hairy arms. Looking at him, I don't even think he has his wings on in the reference photo. Alright, same thing here. With fur, we want to just let it kind of hang. One thing that I observed as a kid, and I don't know if it's really true, but I really believe this, was that when you're drawing a monkey or an ape, the hands are like feet and the feet are like hands. That may have been a poor observation on my part. Well, apes famously have no opposing thumb, right? But of course, with these magical apes, they could definitely be a little bit more man-like. I don't like this eraser that I've picked. Let's pick a smaller eraser. If you've been wondering what I've been doing lately, because I haven't been doing recording, I've changed the way my computer is set up so I don't always have the second monitor, and it makes recording more of a tedious issue. And then I had a bunch of recordings fail, like one after the other. I think it's fixed now. If you see this video, I've kind of fixed it, I think. But you know, it's all a matter of priorities, I guess. It's more important for me to actually do the art than to film the art, you know what I mean? I had a thought about art too as I was coming home today. This is related to a comment I got. And it was a video where I was complaining about Steve Sadowski. Now, who is Steve Sadowski? Steve Sadowski is a professional comic artist who, in the 90s, was drawing Justice Society, JSA. And I love JSA, but I hate Steve Sadowski. Because he really, this is in the 90s, so this wasn't done with computers. He was the one who really introduced photo tracing as a like as a method to comics, and it makes it look really ugly. It's a very ugly art form. And I was complaining about it's just some video, and I was giving examples of why these compositional choices that are basically done by taking a picture with a phone or a small camera or something like that, and then tracing the photo, like you have your roommate pose as the character, or you get poses from a model and you use those as the character. Like there's a whole sequence I was showing with supposedly Black Canary and Dr. Midnight, and you could see in the writing that it was written as this dramatic scene, but every pose was like, you know, da-da, da-da, like it was very unnatural and off-putting. And somebody said, hey, pretty cool, but you shouldn't shit on other artists. And I'm like, hold up for a second. I don't think that's art. And I had to clarify that for a second. Okay, so let me put it like this. Is art just putting stuff on a piece of paper? Like if someone were to just randomly put stuff on there, is it art necessarily? I think it could be art if it was. I think for something to be art, it has to be emotively expressive. That's what makes it art. And I believe that every amateur artist is creating art, because I don't think they can help but be emotively expressive. If you're not already a pro, that's like they just whip it out, they don't have to even think about it. If you're not thinking about it, that's where you run into the danger of it not being art. But in this case, this is a dude that just traces. Like he literally just traces. There's no emotive expression here. He's a professional, so he knows all the techniques. He knows all the tools, and he has all the tools that you could use to do all this stuff. And it's done efficiently. But is it art? Once again, I think even if you suck, even if you're the worst artist in the world, and you make your own comic, that is art, because you're being emotively expressive. But I think that if you're a pro, and you get the script handed to you, and you said, okay, I got this, I'll just take a bunch of pictures and trace them, I don't think that is art. I think that's something else. This is, after all, it isn't really art anyways, because most comics fall under the heading of commercial art that's done. It's not like he came up with those characters or that storyline or anything like that. I mean, somebody did, but it wasn't him. And it doesn't have a particularly artistic goal. The goal is to sell books. I think at the indie level, at the amateur level, that's where it's art. I think when these comics all started, originally, they were art. They were creations of their creators. And now it's just sort of like, oh yeah, I'm drawing, you know, Flash now or whatever. Does that count as art? I would rather watch a high school band fail their way through, 4 cruddy original songs in a row than watch a bar band play covers. You know what I mean? It's just because one of those things is emotively expressive in a real way, and one of those things is more like, when you go to like lately we've been going to the farmers market, and there's always some old guys out there playing, some guitar covers, some easy listening, and then maybe songs that they grew up with or that they like, and we could say that we admire their technical ability to play. And then you sort of run into that, but is it art? Which to me is the question, is it emotively expressive? Alright, so the pants that the winged apes wear are sort of like these breeches that just go over the knee. That's all, they only extend that far. I wonder if they have tails, don't they? I was thinking about this the other day because I'm really interested in Tarzan. I draw a lot of Tarzan stuff. What is an ape? An ape is not a chimpanzee, right? The apes are bigger than the chimpanzees. And if you watch Tarzan or read any of the Tarzan books, Cheetah was a chimpanzee. He was a chimp. But what is an ape? Well, you could say an ape is a gorilla, but the apes are not gorillas. The gorillas have a whole different name. They're called the Bologani in the Tarzan thing, and they're like a completely separate tribe. So you look at the comic books, and they've got the apes, right? The apes are, they're taller than chimps. But they're not as big as gorillas. Are there any apes? I don't know if there's any apes, really. I mean, other than as a scientific classification. These are classified as apes, But like in the Tarzan sense, the species of, larger than man size, but not quite gorillas, which have their own sort of, their morphology of a gorilla is not the morphology that I remember from comics and movies about what a quote-unquote ape is. Gorillas are massive, big barrel-chested. They've got the squat legs and the big heads. Totally different. I'm gonna have to work on those wings. Wings take some time if you want to do them right. What is an ape? Was there ever an ape? Oh, I like the idea of putting a little carving on this Jambia. What do you think? Okay, let's take the... Does he look menacing enough? I think they should have the same pattern. on their pants. All right, we got 20 minutes in. I think that's about as far as I want to go, and I'm going to keep drawing on this one. I'm probably going to have to work on fixing this thing up. I don't think I can show the eye from this angle. Yeah, it's fine. Alright, please like, follow, and subscribe. There will be more drawing. There's going to be more Inktober. I think what I'll do is I'll start leaving this home. I actually did my previous Inktober. Where is it? The one I just showed you. I did that one at work and then I brought it home, and I realized it would be much better if I just started doing these. I could do these on camera because they're pretty easy to do. They go pretty quick. Please like, follow, and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.